This is the first in a series of labs for Azure administrators. In this lab, you will learn about users and groups. There are three tasks that I will perform. The first task is that I will create and configure Entra ID users. In task 2, I will create Entra ID groups with assigned and dynamic membership. And in task 3, I will show you how to manage Entra ID guest users. So what I need to do now is to look for Entra ID. So I will search from here. I'm working under the assumption now that I have not opened Entra ID recently. So we just type Entra ID, and this is what we're looking for, Microsoft Entra ID. I'll click on it, and that's the Microsoft Entra ID. From here, I can now go ahead to create users and even the groups. So the first thing I will do is to create users. So I'll come to this manage section and I will click on users. And from here, I can now go ahead and create a new user. So what I will do is to click new user and click create new user. So I need to supply the name. I will say root. So if you notice on the mail nickname is also showing what root. And why? Because I've already said you should derive it from user principal name. If I don't want that, I can uncheck this. That will give me opportunity to be able to edit this. But I will leave it this way. The display name will not be the full name of this person. So I will use root Edward. And the password, I can actually use auto-generated password. You see? Or I can uncheck it. So this is auto-generated password and this is the password. I can as well use a password that I want from here. So to do that, I will uncheck this and I will use the password I want. But I want to use auto-generated password because I'll still need to change this password later. So I will click on auto-generated password. And this is the password now. What's the password saying? So I will copy this into a clipboard. So I will open the notepad now. And this is the password. And the user now is this. So I'll copy this. And so yes, that's it. So I'll go ahead now and click on review plus create. But before I do that, I want to go to the properties. And here you can also put the first name and last name. Although here I've already said the full name, which is going to be the display name, is root Edward. I can still go ahead and say first name and last name, but this is not compulsory. So other information here under the properties and even the assignments are not compulsory. But there are things that I would like to set here. For instance, I would like to provide the job title for this user. So for this user, his job title is Cloud Administrator. And the department is IT. Now, I can now click on review, then I'll click create. Successfully created the user. So I'll need to refresh here to see the user. You can see that's root Edward. Now that I've created the user, root Edward, I want to click on the user, and this will take me to the properties of the user where I can edit the properties of the user and where I can actually do other things. For example, here you can see the user principal name of the user. That's the same name I copied into the clipboard. And I can also come here to edit the properties. I can delete the user from here. I can reset the user password from here. I can as well assign licenses to the user. I can as well assign roles to the user. So I can do a lot of things from here. But the one I will click now is the assigned roles. This will show me the roles that have been assigned to user root. For now, user root is not assigned any role. So what I will do now is to assign a role to user root. And this role is administrative roles. So I'll click add assignments. And these are the list of roles that I can assign. From the name, you can guess what they can do, but you can get more information if you come to the description. User root is going to be a user administrator. So I'll look for user administrator in the list here. This is it. I will check it and I'll click add. So I'll need to refresh it. So it's loading. Yes, user administrator is properly assigned to user root. Now I need to log into user root to check if we can actually create users. So I will open an in-private browser. So now I have an in-private browser. So I'll need to sign in with root user ID and a password. So I will copy the user ID. I'll go back and copy the password. So I'll put the password here. Then I will say sign in. You can see now it's asking me to update the password because that first password is just a default password. So I will provide the password. Now I'll now enter the real password that I'll be using. I'm not going to show you this password, but you can guess why I don't want to show you. So I'll click sign in. So here is root now, and this is the Azure portal. So what I will do now is to go to the Microsoft Entra ID. Remember, I assigned user administrator as a role to root. So I will look for Entra ID. So I will say Entra, Microsoft Entra ID. You notice now that root can open Microsoft Entra ID and it can perform certain things because we give root user administrator. Do you notice that if I go back to this home now, do you notice now that it doesn't have any right to click on any other thing apart from the Microsoft Entra ID? If you click on anything here now, it's going to ask root to get an authentication. So accept the Microsoft Entra ID. Let's try it. I'll click on virtual machine. What is saying? You need to sign in. You need to get to start an Azure free account because what has happened here is that I have not assigned any service role to root. I only assign role user administrator just to be able to manage user. It cannot do any other thing apart from management of users. So I'll go back to the Microsoft Entra ID. So I want to create a new user. So root being a user administrator can create a new user. Do you notice now that all the users that we created is already here because it is a a user administrator, so you can see all of those things. So the new user that I want to create now is Christiana. So I'll click on create a new. So I'll say Christy. Then let me just call it Christy Bokwe. And the same thing, I'm just going to go to the properties. This Christy, I'll give this Christy a kind of job title. So the job title will be system administrator. And the department, I'll call it IT. Then I'll click review plus create, and I will create. So the only reason why I sign in with root account is to show you that I won't give root user administrator. He can see users, he can manage users. And that's why I use root now to create a new user called Christy. So if I refresh here now, this is the user, Christy Bokwe. Now I'm going to sign out. Now I'm back here. So this is still the main user. Now, if I go back to the users, I should be able to see the user I created over there using root account. And this is the user, Christy Bokwe. So the next thing I want to do now is that I want to create groups. So I'm going to show you how you can create both dynamic and assign group. So to create groups, I'll need to go back to the Microsoft Entra ID, then I'll click on the groups. And the first group that I will create is called IT Administrator, and it's going to be a security group. So the name, IT Cloud Administrator. And for the group description, it's optional, but let me put something there. Delany IT Cloud Administrator. And on the membership type, I'll click the drop down and I'll go to the dynamic user. Then on the dynamic user, I will use add dynamic query. So this query is what I will use to filter who will be the member of this group. So I need to configure the rules, and how will I do that? I'll come to this place, I'll say where the properties, which property do I want to pick? I want to pick job title. Now say where the job title is equals to cloud administrator. You know, I have two users. I created two newly users. The first user is cloud administrator, the other one is system administrator. So that one will not be a member of this group, and that user will be what? Root, because root is the one that have a what? User administrator. So having done this, I'll click enter. Yeah, then I'll click save. Then I'm back here. Then I'll go ahead now and click create. So now I should have, new Group IT Cloud Administrator. Let me create one more group. I'll click on the new button again. This time around, the group name will be IT System Administrator. So IT System Administrator, and the description will be Delany IT System Administrator. It's still going to be dynamic user. So I'll click on the rule. This time around, the rule will be where the job title, so I'll say pick job title, equals system administrator. So I'll save and I will create. I'm going to add one more group because I've only shown you how to create dynamic groups. So I've created IT Cloud Administrator, and I've also created IT System Administrator. Let me create another one. This one now will now be IT Lab Administrator, and the description will be Delany IT Lab Administrator. And the membership type of words will be assigned, and I'll click on no members assigned, and this time around I will add those two groups. The first group is what? The cloud administrator. I'll add this. Then the second group is the system administrator. So IT Cloud Administrator, IT System Administrator. So by adding these two groups now to this new group, it simply means that any member of IT Cloud Administrator and IT System Administrator will automatically become a member of IT Lab Administrator. It simply means that those two users, Ruth and Christy, will automatically become a member of IT Lab Administrator. However, for the IT Cloud Administrator, it's going to be only Ruth, while for the IT System Administrator, it will be Christy. So I'll click Select and I'll click Create. Let's go ahead now and confirm those membership. So I will click on the IT Cloud Administrator. It's a group. Remember, it's a dynamic group, right? So we need to look for the members of this group. So I'll come to members, and I should see a user as a member of this group. Now it's not showing, something is wrong. We'll go back now and resolve it later. Let me pick the second user, IT System Administrator. Let's see. Let's go to members. Christy. Yeah, you can see Christy. So why is that one not showing? Let's troubleshoot it. In case you find yourself in this situation, something is wrong. I'll go to that user. Something is wrong from the user's end. So I'll go to the user and I need to go and cross check certain things there. The user is root, right? Is one that's supposed to be the member. So I'll go to the properties of root because the issue is um, the job title. The job title is what? Cloud Administrator. Okay. Now let me now go back to the group. That's the picture of the group now. The IT cloud, right? So I'll go back to the dynamic membership rules. The problem is coming from that rule. I think I've seen it. Cloud admin. Yes, it's a spelling issue. It's a spelling issue. So it should be okay now. I'll save it. All right. So if I go back now to the groups, once again, I'll click all the groups. Let me refresh everything again. So before we go to the IT Cloud Administrator, let's click on the IT Lab Administrators. How many users can we find there? So who are the members? Let's check the two groups. The two groups, you can see, which simply means that users in this group will become what? The member of the IT Lab Administrator. So I need to go back to the other group, the Cloud Administrator. We're still having issue with that one, remember? So we'll click on members. I think it's working now. This will now take me to the final task, and that is to work with the guest user. So in this case, I'm going to go back now to users and I want to invite a user. Now, I can invite a user from another domain. It can be a business domain. It can be a popular domain. So I'm going to click on the new user and I will say invite user. The user that I want to invite, I will put his email here. The email for this user is oaplus@outlook.com. The display name is what? Olugbenga Adekunle. This is actually one of my mail just to show you. And on the message, you put something there, something like you are invited to our domain or something like that. Then I will click on review plus invite and I'll click invite. And that is how you work with guest user. So you invite guest user. So I will refresh. I will do it over again. This is it. That's the what? The guest user. You can see under the user type is what? Guests. So what we have achieved so far is that first, I show you how you can create a user. So we created two users. The first user, root Edward, and we log in to the root Edward account. Before that, I assigned a user role. user administrator role to root Edward, which means that root Edward can create a new user or manage users. So I use an in private browser to sign into root Edward account, and what happened next is that I created a new user called Christy. After that, I created three groups. The first group is a dynamic membership. That's the cloud administrator. And in that group, I use a rule to define who will become a member. And which rule did I use? I say where job title is equal to what? Cloud administrator. And at the end of the day, it picked two users, Fumi and the root, because they both have cloud administrator as their job title. I created another group which is system administrator, and I pick Christy. Why did he pick Christy? Because I say where job title is equal to system administrator. And the third group is lab administrator, where the two groups becomes a member, and automatically it simply means that the three users in those two groups become member of lab administrator group. And the final task that I perform is that I invited a user into this domain, and at the end of the day, you can see the user here. So it's showing guest user as the user type. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, consider subscribing to this channel. Please let me know what you think in the comment section, and do not forget to leave a like and share this video. See you in the next one.